Do you know how to improve your application's load times and reduce bandwidth usage? This video will help you understand how to use response compression in .NET Core. Response compression, in essence, is a technique used to lessen the size of HTTP responses that are sent from a server to a client. This can be a game changer when it comes to improving the load times of your application and cutting down on bandwidth usage, a critical factor for high-traffic web applications and services. Think of it as packing your suitcase for a trip. You want to fit as much as you can into a limited space, right? Response compression works in a similar fashion. It packs data into smaller bundles, making it quicker and more efficient to transport. And why is this important, you might ask? Well, the smaller the data package, the faster your application loads and the less bandwidth it uses. Understanding response compression is the first step towards optimizing your application's performance. So, when should you utilize response compression? Let's find out. Response compression is like your secret weapon, particularly potent when you're dealing with certain types of content and situations. Let's delve into these scenarios. First up, we have text-based content. Now, this is where response compression truly shines. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are all text-based and can be significantly reduced in size with compression. The result? Your web pages load faster and your users get a smoother, snappier experience. Next, consider API responses. If you're dealing with large JSON or XML datasets, compressing these responses can make a world of difference. It's like taking a bulky suitcase and magically shrinking it down to a carry-on. Your data travels lighter and faster, enhancing overall performance. Lastly, let's talk about high-traffic applications. In scenarios where bandwidth is a constraint or network performance is a concern, response compression is your best friend. By reducing the size of your HTTP responses, you're essentially clearing up the digital highway, allowing for smoother and faster data traffic. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Just as it's important to know when to use response compression, it's equally crucial to understand when not to use it. We'll get into that in the next section. Knowing when to apply response compression can significantly enhance your application's efficiency. Now that you know when to use response compression, it's equally crucial to understand when not to use it. Let's start with already compressed content. Certain types of data, such as images or videos, are usually already compressed. Attempting to compress these further can lead to a waste of processing power without significant gains in size reduction. It's like trying to squeeze water from a stone. Not much to gain, but plenty of energy wasted. Next, consider the size of your responses. If you're dealing with very small responses, the overhead of compressing the response might outweigh the benefits. Think of it as packing a single apple in a large shipping crate and mailing it out. The effort and cost of the packaging would be disproportionate to the value of what's inside. Now, let's talk about sensitive data. When you're dealing with information that needs to be kept secure, you should tread carefully. Compression can sometimes make the data more susceptible to security vulnerabilities like breach attacks. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It just doesn't quite fit and can cause more harm than good. Remember, every tool in your toolbox has its time and place. Using response compression indiscriminately can lead to unnecessary complications and potential security risks. It's about finding the right balance and using the right tool for the job. Being aware of when not to use response compression can save you from unnecessary complications and potential security risks. Even with the best tools, mistakes can happen. Let's explore some common mistakes developers make when using response compression. First, there's the issue of neglecting compression quality settings. This is a key factor in response compression because different levels of compression can impact the overall performance of your application. Higher levels of compression can reduce file sizes, which is great for speed and bandwidth. But it's important to remember that higher compression also requires more CPU usage. So when configuring your compression settings, it's crucial to strike a balance between compression level and the CPU resources you have at your disposal. The second common mistake is overlooking client compatibility. It's easy to assume that all clients will support the same compression algorithms, but that's not always the case. Every client sends an accept encoding header that tells the server which compression formats it can handle. If you don't check this header, you might end up sending a compressed response that the client can't decompress. This could lead to a whole host of problems, including slow load times, or even a complete failure to load your application. Lastly, there's the mistake of ignoring HTTP scenarios. While response compression is a boon for improving load times and reducing bandwidth usage, it can introduce security vulnerabilities when used over HTTPS. Compression algorithms can sometimes make your data more susceptible to attacks, like the infamous breach attack. So, when you're using response compression over HTTPS, it's essential to take extra precautions to ensure your data remains secure. In conclusion, while response compression is a powerful tool for improving web performance, it's not without its pitfalls. By being mindful of these common mistakes, neglecting compression quality settings, overlooking client compatibility, and ignoring HTTPS scenarios, you can ensure that you're using response compression effectively and securely. Avoiding these common mistakes can make your use of response compression more effective and secure. So there you have it, a comprehensive guide to using response compression in NetCore. We've unearthed the many benefits of this technique, including improved load times and reduced bandwidth usage, making it a powerful ally for high-traffic web applications and services. We've delved into the ideal scenarios for its use, such as compressing text-based content and API responses. And we've also spotlighted situations where it's best to give it a miss, such as with already compressed content, very small responses, or sensitive data. Our journey also took us through common pitfalls, like neglecting compression quality settings, overlooking client compatibility, and ignoring HTTPS scenarios. Each of these errors can hamper your application's performance, so it's crucial to steer clear of them. Remember, response compression is a powerful tool for improving your application's performance, but like all tools, it must be used wisely. Thank you for watching.